Salams, beautiful souls. I feel like it's time that I come through and just have just a chit chat with you guys about being Muslim and being a spiritual girly and how that connects and correlates in my everyday life and how it affects me mentally and I guess physically as a Muslim, as a convert. I always knew that there was something special about me. I always knew that I was different my entire life. And I used to tell my mom and cry to my mom all the time. Like, why don't I fit in? Why doesn't my cousins like me? Why do my cousins make fun of me? Why do they hate me? Why do they do things to me to try and make me sad, make me cry, make me feel like an outcast? I remember when I was probably maybe 10, and I love, just like I love now, fiercely, unconditionally. That's how I've always been my whole life. And I know I realized later on in life that God sent me to bring love, and I didn't really understand what that really means until now. Unfortunately, it took me a long time to really conceptualize to myself that maybe the reason why I have been like through so much pain and suffering is because, one, I had to learn to stand on my own 2 feet, 10 toes forward for myself, that I had to learn to listen to my inner voice, which is my intuition, that I had to really understand that my discernment is from the Most High and that I should be paying attention, right? For that I come from love and loving myself and taking my power back and holding on to my love, holding back, more sometimes than I give is important for me so that I could be in less pain, if that makes sense. Because throughout my whole life, I just tend to just give love away. And this is, again, sometimes I forget how many solar returns I've had. But I'm 47, and it has taken me the last 5 years since I've become a Muslim to really understand why I'm here, what my destiny is, what my purpose really is. And I always knew that I was a healer, that I'm a healer, and that I was chosen. My mom used to tell me that a lot when I would cry to her about my cousins, that they didn't like me. That they would just make fun of me. When I was like 10 years old, my cousins, I remember I went over to my uncle's house and we were having some kind of like family gathering, and all of my cousins that are my age would be together, eating together, and then they would all group up and decide that they're going to do something to me, that they're going to make fun of me, that they're going to say something to hurt my feelings. And they would do that a lot. And it made me feel so unloved. It made me feel so small, you guys. It made me feel so insignificant. And I decided to move away from home because I was like, there's nothing here for me. Why do I need to be here? No one loves me here. So I might as well move away where nobody knows me, where nobody knows my family, and start my life over, right? My marriage failed, and I waited 17 years to have another child, and then 4 years later, I had another child, and that's my youngest too. And so I just said, and then I just keep moving around, and I realized that I enjoy being away from my family, because I get to create a new chapter in my life that's just for me. No preconceived notions from anyone, nobody's opinions or perspectives being thrown at me. You know what I mean? I'm just doing me, and I love that. I'm so happy. In the last couple of years, I have been through trial after trial after trial after trial, and I know it's because the Most High is grooming me, growing me into the person that you see now. When it comes to my spiritual gifts, they really were heightened, more like my clairsentience, my clairaudience, and my clairaudience. And I have more spiritual gifts that are unfolding, right? And I'm very excited about it. Very, very excited about it. And I think that the first 4 years, excluding this year, the first 4 years, I've been hiding my gifts. I've just been kind of stagnant on my gifts because I didn't know how to present them to the world. I talked to you guys about this right before I dropped my first channeled message on this page. I'm like, Allah, I know that I'm supposed to be, and I felt so unfulfilled, and I struggled so much as a Muslim, because even as a Muslim, I was continuing to try to fit into spaces that I just don't fit into, being rejected by so many Muslims because I'm an American, right? Because I'm Aboriginal American. And I think that a lot of Muslims that are reverts or converts, whichever you identify with, a lot of converts that are American, we don't get a lot of respect from the Muslim community, especially women, because of our westernized culture, right? And I feel like other born Muslims think that they're better than us, or Arabs think that they're better than us, So I try so hard to fit in, but I just couldn't fit in. And this year, after Ramadan, I decided that, you know what? I healed my epigenetic ancestral wounds. I feel like I've cleared a lot of my ancestral karma, and I've healed a lot of trauma within my ancestral lineage. I've broken generational curses. I feel like my mother was the seer in our family, but she doesn't want to do the work. And because I feel like God knew that she wasn't going to follow through, he sent me. And that's why I'm here to be that light, to be the light worker, to be the curse breaker in my family lineage, to be the healer in my family. And now my children are starseeds. And I've always known, especially my older two, but all of my children have the clairs, right? Especially my oldest two. They are so clairvoyant, so clairsentient, so clairaudient. My oldest son is a seer, and I've always known that since he was little, and we would talk about the things that he would see, and we still talk about them now. He's such a beautiful human being, but this life isn't easy. This is a really hard, challenging type of spiritual gift. Go to the next part.